Hi there, I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com, and this is my Smart American Accent training. In this video, we'll look at how to pronounce encyclopedia. So encyclopedia is a long word that I think the most helpful way to work on it is to break it down syllable by syllable. And that will be just looking at the rhythm of the word and the sounds for the vowels in the word. So the main syllable, the stressed syllable in encyclopedia, is this third to last syllable with the P sound. And that means that's going to affect how we say these other syllables. So even though we have the letter E in encyclopedia, it's going to be a reduced I vowel and sound just like the word in. And then our CY spelling is the S and the I diphthong. I've rewritten that here for you like the word sigh. And we just want to make sure we have that length of the I. So there is a little secondary stress on the sigh syllable because we need a little time and a clear vowel to hear that I diphthong. So far we have encyclopedia. Then letters CL say the K and UL blend. And letter O in this word is in an unstressed syllable, so it's going to say vowel schwa. It sounds like So that syllable sounds like kla. Now we have encycla. Those three are going to be fast. They're going to take about the same amount of time as this P syllable is going to take. So encyclopedia, da 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 da. Getting that rhythm is going to help you. And then letter E does say the tense E sound here. And then we have two more syllables at the end. Another tense E in the D. I always recommend starting on that stressed syllable and building from there. That would sound like pedia, encyclopedia. You can also go slowly, syllable by syllable, and speed up as you go. Just want to maintain the correct vowels and the rhythm relative to each other. So if I do it that way, it's going to sound like encyclopedia, encyclopedia, encyclopedia. Once I can say encyclopedia by itself, I do want to practice it in some short phrases just so that it becomes easier for me to sequence these sounds and say them correctly, even when I'm using this in everyday speech. So trying a few phrases, you might say, we looked it up in the encyclopedia. I read an interesting article in the encyclopedia about that. We no longer tend to have large volumes of encyclopedias in our homes anymore since we have the internet to look things up. Okay, thank you for this request. If you have a request you'd like to see me cover in the Word of the Day series, feel free to leave that in the comments here on this video or in any of my videos. I'll add it to my list to cover in a future class. Thanks so much for being a subscriber. I really appreciate your support. Your comments, your likes, your shares really do help support speech modification. Looking forward to seeing you in our next class. I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com. Remember, if you want to sound like a native speaker, you can do it. speechmodification.com. Bye everyone. Hope to see you again soon.